in the heart of the Valley of the Saints. Where faith was law and every life followed a strict, unbending order, there was a young woman named Lucy Ferrier. Her presence was like a gentle spring in a harsh desert, softening even the most rigid souls. They called her the Flower of Utah, and for good reason, among a people known for their cold discipline and stern obedience. Lucy was a whisper of kindness, a vision of quiet beauty. She hadn't always been of the valley. As a child, she and her father, John Ferrier, were found near death in the vast, unforgiving desert and brought into the community. She grew up under the watchful gaze of the saints, learning their customs, their prayers, and their profound silence. But while she lived within this rigid world, her spirit never bent to it. It remained wonderfully, beautifully free. Her smile was easy and genuine. Her voice was soft, and her capacity for love was boundless. John Ferrier adored his daughter. After all they had been through, Lucy was his only true comfort in this strange land that he never fully embraced. He followed the rules. He worked his land until it prospered, and he kept his deep-seated doubts locked away. He played the part of a faithful saint, all for Lucy's safety and future. But his deepest fear wasn't the memory of the desert that almost claimed them. It was the chilling power the elders held over his daughter's life, a power that grew with each passing day. As Lucy blossomed into womanhood, her beauty became a quiet spectacle. It was impossible to ignore. When she walked through the dusty streets of their settlement, it was as if a ray of sunlight was cutting through the shadows, and she drew silent, admiring glances from everyone. But in this valley, admiration was a double-edged sword. It was dangerous. The elders believed every soul, every life, belonged entirely to the faith. Marriage wasn't a union of hearts. It was a command from on high, a strategic alliance for the community. And Lucy, in her innocence, had captured their attention. But Lucy's heart was already given away. It belonged to a young, spirited hunter named Jefferson Hope. He was an outsider, a man of the mountains, not of the valley's strict faith. Their love was pure, simple, and utterly sincere, a secret world they built for themselves away from judging eyes. In stolen moments, they'd whisper of a future together, of marriage, of escaping the valley to build a life on their own terms, a life chosen in freedom. For a brief, shining moment, Lucy allowed herself to believe that this kind of happiness was truly within her reach. But hope in the Valley of the Saints was a very fragile thing. The leaders of the community, the powerful elders, had been watching Lucy. They had their own plans for her, plans that had nothing to do with her heart's desire. The decree came down like a thunderclap. Lucy was to marry one of their own, a man chosen for her. The choice was not hers to make. She was given a month to decide between two of the elders' sons. The command was absolute, final. There was no room for discussion, no path for appeal. To refuse was not just disobedience, it was defiance against God Himself in their eyes. The news shattered their small world. John Ferrier, his worst fears realized, went to the elders and pleaded. He begged them for mercy, for more time, for his daughter's happiness. But mercy was a currency not traded in this land. Lucy wept, her dreams turning to dust. The gentle world she had known collapsed around her. It was a brutal lesson, and John Ferrier learned it far too late. The saints had saved his daughter from the desert years ago, but now he understood they had done so only to claim ownership of her life, her future, her very soul. Faced with the unthinkable prospect of losing his daughter to a forced, loveless marriage, a desperate courage sparked within John Ferrier. His choice was born from a father's fierce love and a deep, primal fear. He would not let them take her. He began to plan their escape. But the valley was a prison without walls. It had eyes and ears everywhere. Every neighbor was a potential spy, every friend a potential informant. The air itself seemed to listen. Through all this turmoil, through the fear and the sorrow, Lucy's gentle spirit did not break. She didn't rage against her fate or curse the men who held her captive. Her strength was a quiet, unyielding force, the strength to hold on to love in a world that sought to extinguish it. She placed her trust in her father's desperate plan. She held onto her faith in Jefferson Hope's love, and she prayed not to the God of the saints, but for the freedom that seemed to be slipping further and further away. But the valley does not forgive disobedience. The saints do not forget what they consider betrayal. The same community that had once offered salvation now closed in around Lucy like a trap. Her simple, honest love had made her a target. Her quiet beauty had sealed her fate. And so ends the chapter of innocence for the flower of Utah. This pure, gentle soul now stands on the precipice of tragedy. Her story isn't one of loud rebellion, but of a quiet, profound love being systematically crushed by absolute, unquestionable power. And in the dark, silent shadows of the valley, an entirely different seed was beginning to take root. Not of love, but of vengeance.